Yo! What's up, my YouTube family? Stantawn Kendrick back again here. It's been a while since I've been on my channel, and today I'm making a video for you guys. Been doing a lot lately, trying to prepare musically, trying to get this hunk of metal worked out, figure out how to play better and everything. But you know, this week I had been doing some experimenting with some reeds, and I said, you know, this is something that has been bothering me for a long time. I mean, at least I can go back and say as far as when I was in undergrad college. So this video, it shouldn't be that long. If it gets long, I'm sorry. But this is about reeds. I think I did a video about reeds a while ago. I can't remember. But this one is about reeds. And this one is about filed reeds versus unfiled reeds. Is it a myth? Is it truth? Is it legend that they actually are very, very different? Or is it mind games? So this video is going to be completely off the top. I'm probably going to do some editing to make it make sense for you guys, but let's start from the beginning. So filed versus unfiled, what is it? And the most popular reeds that really advertise this is the Diodario or Rico select jazz reeds or jazz select reeds, however you want to call them. But they're not the first ones to do it. I mean, but they're the first ones to really put it out there like, we are making, this box is unfiled, this box is filed. And if you're in the music store, 9 chances out of 10, they're gonna have the filed reeds. And I always wonder, okay, why do they always have the filed? I mean, sometimes they have the unfiled reeds, but for the most part, it's gonna be the filed reeds. So the question is, why is it that they have the filed reeds mostly? And that's because the majority of the step-up reeds or the professional reeds are filed reeds. And this actually goes all the way to Vandora and Blue Box or Purple Box. They are filed. So a lot of people say that filed reeds are the traditional classical cut, and unfiled is the jazz cut. I'm not sure how relevant or real that is. A lot of people say, well, filed reeds give you a brighter sound and unfiled reeds give you a darker sound. I'm not sure that's even that legit either, you know. So I'm gonna give my opinion, and again, this is my opinion of what I've found, and you let me know your own details of what you have discovered in the comments below. So first, let's just start off with what they look like. So this is what an unfiled reed looks like. So this is the cane of bamboo. And as you can see, there's this arc there where the reed is cut, and you see the front part of the reed, which is what you normally see when it's on the mouthpiece. The back part of the reed, which some people call the butt of the reed, has not been filed down here. Right here. That's where the file would take place. So this is an unfiled reed. All you have is just the butt of that bamboo or cane, whatever you want to call it, and it's not been filed there. So this is an unfiled reed. This is what a filed reed looks like. Okay, this is what a filed reed looks like. So you see that the reed has clearly been cut. Right here, you can see file marks here, right where that U-shaped is. So you can tell that this reed has been filed. You have this line that you see where it's been chipped and shaven down where this arc was, and that is a filed reed right there. So that's the difference. All right, so what's the difference between the reeds? I think that difference is very subjective. I'm not sure if it's an absolute thing. You know, when you check out these reed makers' websites, especially dealing with Rico reeds or Diodario reeds, they really don't go into detail about, okay, our file reed gives you da-da-da. Our unfiled reed gives you da-da-da-da. You know, it's not in great detail. I have read things along the lines of, well, file reeds give you more response, free blowing. I read that a lot. More response, free blowing, quick response. I hear that a lot. And unfiled reeds, they say, are more resistant, darker. Now, to me, and what I have experienced, and I'm talking about Rico reeds, Vandoran reeds, Rigotti reeds, Roberto reeds, all the different flavors of those Vandoran reeds, purple box, what is it, light green box, dark green box, red box, black box. You know, I've tried a bunch of them. And I do not get this sense of filed reeds are brighter and more responsive and unfiled reeds are more resistant and darker. I think it's a bit more involved than that. You can take two reeds, and play them both, one being filed and one being unfiled, and depending on how that reed was made, how it was cut along the heart of the reed, how the vamp is, and how thick or thin the tip of the reed is, will determine some of that response and dark or bright. And dark or bright is still subjective because it really depends on your mouthpiece setup and the way that you hear sound. Some people just cannot get away from a bright sound. They can play the darkest mouthpiece with the darkest reed and they still lean towards the brighter end of the spectrum. And a lot of that has to do with the way they hear things and the people that they listen to and unify with the most. So the theory of a filed reed gives you a brighter sound and an unfiled reed gives you a darker sound, I really don't believe that. Now, resistance versus response. That one I tend to kind of side with a little bit more. I kind of want to say, okay, unfiled has less resistance than filed does. But again, that's subjective. That depends. You can have an unfiled reed that has a thinner tip that may be more responsive than a filed reed with a thicker tip. It depends. My thing is, I think it takes experimentation with different brands, and certain mouthpieces don't like certain brands of reeds or certain cuts of reeds. You can have your favorite mouthpiece, that's your setup, and you can try 10 different types of reeds on them, 10 different kind of cuts. It doesn't matter if they're filed or unfiled. What matters most is the heart of those reeds, the vamps of those reeds, and the tip thickness of those reeds, and how that type of cut meaning, is it an American cut or is it a French cut? That's another video, but that's two different types of cut on the tips. So you got a whole lot of things going on with, instead of, is this little piece of bark filed down back here or not? That's a whole lot more to consider. How thick is the heart? How thick is the vamp? How thick is the tip? All these things play in the part of resistance versus free blowing. And I made a video a while ago about your mouthpiece setup, how resistant is that versus free blowing, and the strength of reed that you're using on that particular setup, how much resistance and free blowing is that giving you? So there's a lot to take into consideration before you nail it down to, oh, I got to get a filed reed because that's going to give me more response. Or, oh, I got to get an unfiled reed because I want a little bit more resistance. So a whole lot more to it than that. Anyway, I hope this video helped you guys some. I think my conclusion is try out some unfiled reeds, try out some filed reeds. If you are a player that use Rico or Diodario Jazz Select, try out the unfiled reeds. I know you don't see them often, but try them out and see how they differ to you from the filed reeds. I think it really depends reed to reed, how well the reed was made, how it was cut, what kind of cut was used, how soft the tip is. I just think it's a lot involved than just giving an absolute answer that says an unfiled reed gives you a dark sound and a filed reed gives you a bright sound. That's not true. I've played Rico Select Jazz reeds, both filed and unfiled, and box to box, I can have a bright sounding unfiled reed and a dark sounding filed reed, vice versa. A resistant filed reed and a non-resistant unfiled reed. I think it depends. So I hope this video helped you guys. Again, if you have any questions or any comments about this or your own experiences with this, leave it down in the comment below. Take care, you guys. Holla at you guys. Peace.